All right. Again, Krysia Lenzo joining us live on set here, responding and reacting to that. We watched this. You got to think it's somewhat fascinating. When we were covering this, obviously, the heart of the case that was taken up by the Supreme Court was the University of North Carolina and then Harvard. So we sent a reporter to Harvard to talk to the students that attended that had to go through the admissions process to get there. And if you notice, it's a very diverse crowd that Mike Carter, the reporter there, did a great job talking to and getting their response. And it may surprise some, but a lot of folks didn't mind getting rid of affirmative action and saying, hey, this should be based on merit, not necessarily on race.
Definitely. I actually went to Harvard undergraduate, so it's nice to see that there was some diversity of opinion, at least in this particular segment. I think Mike did a great job interviewing different types of students. But that being said, in terms of diversity in general, there is really not a lot of diversity of opinion at Harvard. And that's a key issue when we're looking at factors like affirmative action. It's not just about racial diversity, ethnic diversity. It should be about socioeconomics, about making decisions on the student body based on their meritocracy. And again, diversity of thought. That's unfortunately my experience, not to bring too much of it into this segment, but I think my experience at Harvard, many students did not have different opinions, despite the fact that the classroom looked a lot like the United Nations. It has a lot to do with social engineering and not a lot to do with necessarily people who deserve to be there are there.
Yeah, that very interesting point. I was reading in the New York Times this morning that and it may have been an opinion piece, but it was put together based on facts from the Department of Education in terms of the admission process, where Ivy League schools don't admit, but 9%, something a little less than that in the first place, and how affirmative action really doesn't affect the admissions process the way many people believe that it does. And then it broke it down by race. And interesting enough, as Asian Americans were the, again, highest in attendance on that when it broke it down specifically by race there, and that this Supreme Court ruling is really not going to do much of change in that regard in those schools. Krysia, thank you. We appreciate it.